Yes, crowd. It's your boy Denai. Obviously, you know this already. DSS, we move. Now, you're probably asking yourself again, why am I on my ones? Lone striker. Where's Kenfo? He's not here. So the hold-up play needs to be elite. I'm right here, right now. Let's go. But why am I on my ones? Production said no Prem this week, but we still got to move. So we decided to give you guys a list. Again, a list. This time, I'm trying to figure out who is the most overrated player in the EPL. So everybody had to submit 10 players. Production did their thing, crunched the numbers, and now we have one collective list. There's going to be a few interesting players on this list. So let's find out who. At number 10, Hugo Lloris. A goalkeeper in the top 10? That's interesting, man. What do you guys think?
Look, for me, I've seen Hugo Lloris save the ball with his head. So as a keeper, he's a trash keeper. I'm going to keep it real. He's a trash keeper. I think I had him top 5 maybe, fifth or 6th. I've seen him make too many mistakes. I think Tottenham can do better. And a captain as well. He's irrational. He doesn't make good saves. I don't see him being a good captain.
My number one, I think he's by far the most overrated player in the league. As a keeper, he's not tall, he's not strong, he can't jump, he can't make saves, he can't play out. Once this guy made a save and saved the ball into his own goal and broke his elbow.
If I was honestly thinking correctly, I would have had Hugo Lloris in my list and he would have been pretty high. Obviously, I make mistakes. I made one here. Hugo Lloris is one of the most overrated players in the Premier League. I should have had him. I agree with Tommy Mack. I agree with the rest of the gang. This guy needs to be high on the list. He's shit. He is woeful. He is trash. Hugo Lloris, you're a shit keeper.
Fraud. I put him at something a bit higher. Yeah, I put him 5, I think. No, 6. So he's lucky he got 10. This guy is awful. He's got 2 L's in his name. Double loser. Saves. He doesn't save anything. He let Adair score from halfway in a final. It was like 154th minute and let him score that because your team's... You got best defenders in front of you and you let this guy score from halfway. 178th minute, bro. What's going on?
Lloris, big fraud. I think he's been fraudulent for about 3 to 4 years. I don't really see when he became good, but he was talked about as if he was the best keeper in the league and has never really showed anything. Does pull off some good saves every now and then, but overall his decision-making and his reflexes are awful for a keeper. So that's why he was in my list.
To be honest, I did not even think about putting him in my list. Keepers kind of just went over my head, if I'm being honest. But I don't know. I kind of see he does do some big saves for them, but he also has such a shit defense in front of him. And he makes some horrible mistakes that I just don't know if you can really justify with those couple good saves here and there that he does do.
He's not in my list. Is he in your list?
No, he's not in mine. But I feel like that's a good one, though.
Okay. The thing about this list is I could have had so many plays in it, but Hugo, the thing about Hugo is I think he was a world-class keeper at one stage.
Yeah, he's definitely not what he used to be.
Okay, he's not what he used to be.
No.
And I think that a few things play into, I guess, him maybe being overrated. One of them could be that he's been at Spurs for a long time. Maybe people have a bit of a soft spot for him. He's also the captain on most occasions, I believe. So maybe that's why. And he is not as, I guess, he's not in the conversation of the top keepers in the Prem, for me at least.
No, no way.
He's outside that top 5. He might be top 10, but he's outside that top 5.
So at number 9, man, who's it going to be? 73 million pound man from Dortmund to Manchester, Jadon Sancho. Is he overrated?
His price tag was a lot. He's English. Okay, the move had been spoken about for, I want to say, 2 years. Yep. So there was so much speculation around his move that when it finally happened, it was like, oh my God, we finally got him. And he was a great player in the Bundesliga. I saw him live. Yep. He's a great player. But with that much pressure to be the England star boy coming back. Ronaldo actually took a bit of that spotlight off him. Ronaldo sort of saved his ass a bit coming to United.
Yep.
But I think those things accumulate as to why he is maybe feeling the pressure and hasn't performed. He's not in my list though.
I love Sancho, but he just hasn't been it. Like everyone's seen the games. Like what's he done?
Wow.
I feel bad for my guy, you know. After getting racially abused, this is how we treat him. I'm disappointed in the people on this podcast for judging him too quick. You know, he's one of the brothers. I feel bad, but yeah, he's been dead. So it's fair enough.
I had Sancho at number 2 because for the amount of money he costed and all of the ridiculousness of all the Man United fans, we signed Sancho, hell yeah. What has he done? He's been terrible. I haven't even noticed that he's been on the field. So I don't think, obviously it's still early in the season, but for right now, he's heavily overrated. Even I was kind of a bit excited to see a new player in the EPL, but he's been terrible and has not, impressed me one bit.
To be honest, I'm surprised United signed, $73 million bench player. This guy is struggling to get starts over Mason Greenwood. I mean, if that doesn't say, I don't know what does. You got Philippe hyping him up saying, oh, this guy's going to be the greatest ever.
He does that.
What has he done?
I mean, I didn't have him on my list. Upon reflection, I think 9-10 is probably accurate. But I am part of the opinion that he probably does need a little bit more time, being young, coming off his first major international tournament. I've got a lot of bad signs in the background, but I think he will come good. He's young enough to come good. He's obviously unfit. He's obviously coming to a new team, a new country to play in. And I think that, 9-10 is probably about right.
For me, he was 9th, only on the basis that it's early days. I left him out of my signings list because I thought I didn't buy the signing. I switched it up. I was like, you know what, maybe it was a mistake. But the way he's playing, £73 million, you got to expect better. This kid was rated easily one of the best wingers, young wingers on the planet. He doesn't look it. That could be the Ronaldo effect, but just not impressed.
And this one goes out to all them Man U fans that slandered a boy by the name of Nicola Pepe. They said, this man, they didn't even give him a chance. They didn't give him a chance to breathe. And now look at Sancho. But you say give him time. You say give him time, give him time. Sancho, give him time. That's what Philippe said. That's why he's not here today. He couldn't handle it.
This guy's he's lucky. It's like Lloris escaped with minor cuts. No fatality. I learned that off CSI or
Hey, say that one more time. Hey, come back.
CSI.
Okay, crowd. I don't know if Sancho's overrated, but we move. Now, at number 8, some people say Ballon d'Or, and these people are crazy. There's no chance in hell Jorginho at number 8 is Ballon d'Or worthy.
For a man that is being touted as the world's best player, the best player in the entire world, a world that has Messi, a world that has Neymar, a world that has all these incredible players, he is being touted as the best player in the world. It's fucked. This guy, yes, he looked good in the Euros, but it's a different kind of tournament. This guy gets passed by every week in the Premier League. He has some nice touches. He does some good things, but it's more bad than good, let's be honest.
Samuel and Tom had Jorginho because they're not used to seeing midfielders want to get on the ball. They're not used to seeing players who want the ball, look for the ball, can play forward, can play out of areas. So they just dub him as overrated. What is he actually doing because he's not running 28 Ks in the game?
Wrong.
What is he actually doing because he doesn't make the most recoveries after he loses the ball?
No. He doesn't make any recoveries at all.
Jorginho is great. He's a good footballer.
He's a fine
footballer. He's rated perfectly fine. And he had a great year last year, hence why he's in the conversation for one of the best players. He's not overrated. He's just a good player that won 2 major trophies last year.
This guy's a good player, but he's not the best player. He's not even the best midfielder in the Prem, so not the best midfielder on his team. So
We only have one midfielder.
Okay, so first and foremost, I know that's okay. That's okay. I know who put Jorginho in the list, and me and Jeremy had a discussion about this. Any player in the Prem can be overrated, and you could make a case for them being overrated.
Yeah.
Okay, it depends who,
But not
we're talking
Jorginho.
about.
He's going to win the Ballon d'Or.
I'll let me rock with this one, and then I'm going to give it to you.
Go crazy.
He's fine. He's rated just as he should be, I think.
Because, Bud, you didn't have him in your list. And I don't know. Top 10,
Yeah.
it's a stretch.
Maybe like top 15 or 20, but not top 10.
Especially-
this player's way more overrated than he is.
Yeah. Like, I thought about it, and I definitely think I'm like, yo, this guy's more and more overrated, but I think he's still good enough and delivering where he's expected to. Whereas other players, based on pricing, whatever, not so much.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is he is being said that he is the best player in the world. That's the award he's going for, from the most credible award, the highest achievement a footballer can win for an individual award. And he is nowhere near the level of that award. So that's why Jorginho is on my list. What did I have him at? 7, I think? 8. 8, I think.
I know who's put Jorginho there. You're not slick. Jorginho is a fabulous player. Okay, fabulous.
Controls the game every time he's playing. Like,
I know you're saying he's overrated, but he was an integral part, and I mean integral, to Italy's Euro win.
yep.
He was an integral part of our Champions League campaign.
Do you agree with Jorginho at number 8? Let's move on to 7, man. At number 7, another Chelsea man. Now, I don't think this guy should even be on the list because he's not rated. So I don't know how this happened. We're going to blame a lot of people for this, okay? How the hell does Timo Werner, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, end up on this list? Timo Werner, number 7. What do you guys think?
Timo Werner is absolutely shit. Everyone on this podcast knows he's shit. He shouldn't be in this list because of how shit he is, and everyone knows he's shit. I don't think he's overrated. He can't score. He can't do anything for a team. Timo Werner is shit. This podcast is good, but he is shit.
this guy is rated highly by them two little brothers, Maxi and Maxi's brother, the Gabbana brothers. This guy's dead. If they want a sprinter, they should have signed Usain Bolt for free agency.
Free agency?
Yeah.
You reckon you're going to be free?
Cause he would be cheaper than him.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you on this one. This is the only time me and you are going to agree.
I didn't have Timo Werner on my list because I do not rate him. I don't know any people with good football knowledge or any credible insights that rate Timo Werner, so that's why I didn't put him in my list.
I didn't even consider him. It was so far from rated on my list that I did not even consider him at all.
This year, the reason I've put him at number 1 is because you bring a player like Lukaku into the team and he's not been performing because of Werner. And Chelsea players like, oh, it's such a good formation. You've got these two up top working off each other. They're not. They're not working with each other.
You do say that. I've heard
Thanks. They do say that.
I heard
And
it.
and you're killing Lukaku's game by having him there.
Yeah.
They just hate him. That's all it is. He should not have touched this
Who's
list.
he overrated by? Every single person I talk to about football has the same opinion. They say, oh, Werner's shit.
And at number 6, another Chelsea player. This is turning into Chelsea FC. Come on. Jerome, what do you think, man? Max, Bud, Frank Lampard's son, Mason Mount.
But now, look, Mason Mount's definitely overrated, heavily overrated. There were times where I was impressed. I was like, oh, this young dude looks all right. Yeah. Then I watched him closely. I wasn't impressed anymore. I don't get the hype. I mean, I get the hype, but I don't get the hype.
Every single person on this podcast that didn't have Mason Mount, white. It makes so much sense to me. They all eat boiled chicken for dinner. They all eat vegetables from the packet. Every single one of you, white racists.
We saw Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder. Yeah, 27 episodes in. My first mistake. Completely forgot about Mount. I got to hold my hands up and say that was an honest mistake. If I remembered him, top 5 easy.
Riley said Saka is more overrated than Mount. Jeez. Now I know why Riley rates Mount, you know?
Mm-hmm. Give it to him.
Uncool.
Oh,
Dead techers.
yes. I got to be honest with myself sometimes, you know? Got to stop waffling sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Mount is overrated. He does deserve to be on this list. Any position. If he was number 1, I wouldn't be mad.
You guys just chose your list of pure bias.
Yep.
Like, this is stupid at this stage. 3 in a row? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I got no words.
Like, and again, he's young. So, look, like I said, people have said he's overrated. And at some stages in his career, I agree. There's been stages where I'm like, that's not good enough. People think you're better than you are. But
Mason Mount is nothing special. I remember I said on one of the sit-down episodes that there's a few players that because of their complexion, they look like they're razzlers and they look like they're way better than they are. Mason Mount, prime example.
This is the Premier League. This is English tax. This is my dad swears at my mum for not making dinner. This is Mason Mount.
Okay, so now I think that's it for these Chelsea men, okay? So it's not Chelsea FC. But at number 5, in my opinion, the greatest Liverpool captain of all time, Mr. Jordan Henderson.
Jordan Henderson is by far the worst footballer at any top 6 side. Footballing ability alone, he is the worst player at any top 6 side. He's the only central midfielder that can get away with not showing for the ball, not ever wanting the ball, not playing passes forward, and being rated as one of the best midfielders in the league and one of the best midfielders in the world. What? He was, 2 years ago, he won English Football Writers Player of the Year.
There is not one person I know that's going about the streets being like, Jordan Henderson's the best footballer, this, that. He's there to do what he needs to do, and he performs okay. I think he's important in the team in some games, and I think he's rated just as he needs to be. No one's hyping him up. He's not overrated. He's just what he is, I think.
I didn't have him on my list because I don't think that he's rated. I don't think people are thinking that he's this all dynamic midfielder anymore. His game is limited. It's hugely limited. He doesn't do a lot of the things that you need the midfielders to do. And I didn't have him on my list because I didn't think that he was at that standard for people to rate him anymore.
If he was playing for another if he was playing for another top 6 team with the exact same shit, you would put him in the list. Jordan Henderson, if there was a top all-time list, he'd definitely be my number 1. Siri did something on my phone, put him like something else. It wasn't 1 by accident, but yeah, Jordan Henderson, overrated. This guy, you know, he's the only player in the whole Euros to pay for his own ticket to think. That's a little did you know fact.
So yeah, so I had him at number 4. Again, Jordan Henderson isn't a bad player. Let's just get that straight. He's not a bad player. But he has you know what his outstanding quality is? Passion.
That's all he has. His work rate. What other qualities he's got?
Work rate, leadership, and passion. As a footballer, extremely overrated. I think people let those 3 things, captain, get to their head. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, he might be a good leader and he might say, come on lads, fucking and get all passionate and do that. Yeah, the trophy lift. All right, we get it, bro. Fucking relax. Yeah, but as a footballer, overrated.
I think the more we film, the more I start to realize that I spit facts. That I am a Liverpool fan who spits facts. I think the time I realized that Jordan Henderson is overrated is when I started defending him. I started saying, no, he brings a lot to the game. No, he brings a lot to the game. Yeah. And then I'm thinking, yeah, we should start Henderson. Then I realized I'm just like the rest.
Okay, crowd. Now, this is where I get pissed off. This is where I know that some of the people here don't know ball. At number 4, I'm an Arsenal fan, and I would never say this. How in the world does Harry Kane end up in this list? And to make it even worse, he ends up in the top 5. He's at number 4. How does that happen? Apparent number 4 pick, Harry Kane.
There's just a level above him but people were saying he was at that level to begin with. There's a lot of aspects of his game that, I mean, look, you would call him an all-round 9, but there's just some games where he just completely goes missing. And as a world-class player, you can't do that as much as Kane does or has been doing recently, especially this year.
This season's been his worst for sure.
Well, again, we're early in, but...
What is it, like 7 weeks? Exactly, yeah.
But...
We need a snapshot down to Dandenong. See what the fuck is going wrong with Jerome.
I'm going to do WikiLeaks.
This man released a feature film at the start of the year with Gary Neville stating every reason why he wanted to leave, and they still didn't let him leave.
This show has become a joke. How can the second most consistent goal scorer on the whole planet, let alone, I don't even know, the galaxy, this man has for maybe 5 years in a row consistently performed week in, week out, consistent. He gets upset once, wants to leave, and now he's overrated. What is he on the list? Number 4? He's number 4 on the list of...
Okay, let me just explain myself.
Wow.
So I get the message.
Wow.
Just wait. I want a top 10 overrated players list of the current EPL season, right? At the moment, Harry Kane is not playing to his full potential. But people are still relying on him and be like, oh, Harry Kane. But I understand he's upset, whatever, but you can't just go on the field and just do nothing. So that's why I had him. And that's not a very good explanation. But that's my reasoning, because you guys said current EPL.
34 games, 21 goals. 38 games, 25 goals. 30 games, 29 goals. 37 games, 30 goals. 28 games, 17 goals. 29 games, 18 goals. 35 games, 23 goals.
Harry Kane is world class. I don't think you can name 5 strikers better than him. So for that fact alone, I don't think he's overrated.
Jerome, Josh, Max, Chrissa. You've ruined the whole list. You've single-handedly ruined the whole list. How in the world does Harry Kane come fourth? And I'm an Arsenal fan saying this. How does he come fourth? So what we're saying to number 3. British record fee, £100 million, Aston Villa to Man City. It's your boy Jack Grealish.
I don't know why he's on the list. Maybe if you put him 8 to 10, makes sense, but Grealish, come on now. The guy's a good footballer. I don't know. I don't think justifies putting him on the list.
I think Pep has to play him because of how much he spent on him, but he really hasn't done anything. He scored a goal with his butt, I think. That's about it. So, yeah.
He's got a big booty.
He's got a big old booty, but he hasn't done anything. He's not worth that price tag. And I don't think he should be this high in the list, but he's definitely overrated.
Reasons why Jack Grealish is overrated. 100 mil.
Yeah, says it
100
all.
mil.
Says it all.
Should I keep going? Because I can. I can't keep going. They have Raheem Sterling and Riyad Mahrez coming off the bench when both of them are better than Jack Grealish.
The year Jack Grealish had last year, nobody was calling him overrated. They were all saying he was, one of the best players in the league. The 100 million is what I think really sways people's opinion. I think if that figure wasn't there, nobody would really be calling him overrated. But his performances for City this year have been very subpar.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he's overrated. If you'd asked me this at the start of the season, I would have said he's one of the top players that I'd expect to perform this year. I've definitely started to see that there might be a bit of lapses in his game. He definitely can't play. It's harder for him to perform and to dribble, to do things when teams are sat. You know, like Tom said, you know, he's used to a transition-based football where he's getting the ball on the move. But yeah, it seems like he's a one-trick pony. I don't think he's going to offer more than any of the forwards that they have.
I don't know. For me, it's just like when you're in a stacked team already, it's hard to sort of stand out.
That's a good point.
When you got a bunch of like players around you, like De Bruyne, who's considered the best player in the Premier League. So yeah, that's really my point on it. Like, I personally rate Jack Grealish. Yeah, you could call him overrated. I probably wouldn't, but
Was he in your list though?
no, he wasn't in my list.
Okay, he wasn't in my list either. So
Okay, so Grealish was at 3, but who's at 2? It's the business end now. Now this player is an $80 million man. In my opinion, heavily overrated. Mr. Harry Maguire. Felipe, Mr. Harry Maguire. What are we saying about that one?
I think he's rated, especially for the people that I talk to. He's not horrible, okay?
Yeah, that's the thing. He's not shit, but he's not.
Well, last season, he wasn't great, okay? But I think he did okay at the Euros. He actually did pretty good, actually.
No, he did. He did.
And I think maybe at the tail end of last year, I could be wrong. My memory's horrible when it comes to previous seasons, but I think he gradually did get better. And Harry Maguire had a good Euros. Yeah, England got to the final, and I'm pretty sure he started probably
A lot of the
game.
England. Well, obviously they made it to the final, but individually, like very good Euros.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. I've never thought this guy was, or maybe at Leicester for a bit, but I've never thought, even at Leicester, I wasn't like, this guy is amazing. He's a quality signing.
The season they won the
Yeah,
league,
you know,
that was it.
he was a doggy defender, just bit bosh English. That's it. That's all his game. That's it.
He makes so many mistakes, and he's an okay defender. He's all right, but he's big and sluggish. He's not even fast.
Facts.
He gets out-muscled by small players.
Facts.
How he cost, was it 50 mil? Less? More? Ish? 50 mil-ish?
It was more than
What?
that. Yeah.
Oh, who
It was
am I
more than
thinking
that.
about? Jesus, that's even worse.
Harry Maguire, great player, great footballer, really, shore up that Man United defence. 80 mil bargain. He was in a bidding war. A lot of teams were after him. That's why he cost the 80 mil. Oh, he's a good centre-back, good leader. He made Leicester look like a good side. Shut the fuck up. Harry Maguire is a very, very average footballer. I don't see the real differences between him and Phil Jones.
Well, I hit on this one. Had him up at number 3. So, what can I say? We got one today, boys.
Hey! And for every single one of you that said, Harry Maguire's not overrated, blah, 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 this, that, whatever you want to say, who was the most slandered transfer this transfer window? Do you want me to tell you who it was? Benjamin White. Tell me what Harry Maguire is better at than Ben White. If Harry Maguire's best attribute is playing out, Ben White's better than him at playing out. So how is 80 mil Harry Maguire? How is he not the top 3 most overrated players? He's stupid, square washing machine dishwasher head. Harry Maguire, you're shit, cuz.
As Philippe would say, look, Harry Maguire, it's inevitable. When you've got Fred. Nah, I'm just joking.
That was good.
You like that? Bow.
I once asked Philippe what his favourite thing about Harry Maguire was, and he said playing out. His ability to play out. His captain and central defender, his top thing, the first thing that came to his head was his ability to play out. Not his defending, not his positional awareness, not his aerial ability with that fucking massive head.
No.
These guys, they think that he's a silky footballer because he has previously played through the lines in a couple of games.
My thing with Maguire is people think top 5 centre backs in the league. In my opinion, he's top 5 fridges in the league.
Yeah.
This guy is so good at standing still.
Yeah.
The ball just comes to him. He just goes.
Okay, so now we need to know who is the most overrated player in the EPL, currently in the EPL today. Obviously, this list is a bit because certain people made some stupid decisions. I'm talking about the Melbourne people, Jerome, Josh, Max. But who is that number 1 pick? And I couldn't agree more with this guy. At number 1, the most overrated player in the EPL currently today, Trent Alexander-Arnold. What we saying, boys and girls?
I just want to play something quickly.
He's the best right back on the planet. But Trent is for me. You know, he's 22 years old, James. He scored a free kick Champions League qualifying game against Hoffenheim in the start of the 17-18. So Liverpool haven't been in the Champions League for years. And this Scouse kid's playing fullback. I mean,
What the fuck is this guy even saying? But he's the best fullback on the planet. On the planet.
Scouse lad.
He's overrated. He's a terrible fullback. Only in 2021, only for Liverpool can you be an awful defender and be classed as a world-class fullback. That it never has happened. It's never existed where you don't have to be a good defender, but be one of the best defenders.
As a footballer, hence why I had him number 1, hence why I speak the most facts as a Liverpool fan on this show. Let me read you a tweet of mine from Trent in his prime, okay? This is prime Trent Alexander-Arnold. There is no other footballer in the world who is allowed to consistently give the ball away and get praised. Terrible ball retention, awful positioning, horrible 1v1 defending. Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Definitely. Has to be one of the most overrated players in the Premier in a long time. I think if he didn't have such high assist stats, goal stats for a fullback, no one would be rating him at all because defensively he doesn't defend. His ball retention is terrible. If he didn't have one of the most elite finishers or finish pairing at the time in that squad, you know, he's not getting those kind of numbers. But you know, I back 1 or 2. I put him 2. I think Trenny boy. Is that what you guys call him? Trenny boy.
Not too long ago, I was scrolling through Twitter and there were 2 polls in a row. One was a voting poll, which was who is the better right back of all time? Trent Alexander-Arnold and Dani Alves. I scrolled down 3 more posts. Who is a better right back? Cafu or Trent Alexander-Arnold? Now, this is where I struggle a little bit as a Liverpool fan and defending this man.
Human.
And just as a general person living in the world we do today.
Trent at 1. Now, this has been a discussion for a very long time, okay? Those seasons where they won the Champions League, especially that one, and then the Prem, mate, he was fucking phenomenal. Yeah? But, again, he's very young, and I know in this day and age is becoming less of a factor.
Oh, yeah.
They were putting him up there with the greats in that position. Okay? With the greats. Attacking, he's brilliant. Yeah, crossing, whatever. Defending, which is what a fullback should do, he's not the best at. So to call him complete, I don't know. And hence that would equal people being quite vocal about him being overrated. I think he's overrated. Yeah?
Yep.
Number 1, I can see, I guess, because a lot of people echo that sentiment. For me, he's not number 1.
He was in my top 3, but not number 1.
He's not in my list. I just think that he's still young. He's 23, I think, and he actually could get better.
Oh, of course. When you're 23, he's not even in his prime yet.
That's the thing. So
Doesn't touch Reece James, but that's a difference.
defensively, Reece James is better.
Way better.
But that's where that whole overrated convo comes from.
I'm standing by my list. I didn't put Trent because he is an important player in our team. He's, like I said, his output is incredible. He can't defend for shit, but that's not why he's put there.
What's he put
That's
there?
why, you know,
Why is he put there?
to do what he does.
And what is that?
Set up goals, assist, score
4%
bangers.
pass completion.
I didn't say pass, I said assist goals.
Passable wide to somebody who's just going to finish every goal. I mean, if I'm just going to give the ball to one of the most elite finishers, you know, in the league, and he's scoring, I don't know if that's really an assist or that's really my man can score.
It's an assist. If you pass the ball to someone and they score, that's an assist.
Okay, crowd. So that is our list. The top 10 most overrated players currently playing in the EPL. There's one thing I need to say about this list, though. Everybody in Melbourne needs to have their voting rights revoked. Production, you need to find these people. Harry Kane is number 1 in some of these people's lists. That is not okay. But we move. So what is this list? At number 10, we had Hugo Lloris. At number 9, we had Jadon Sancho. At number 8, we had Jorginho. At number 7, another Chelsea man, Timo Werner. At number 6, another Chelsea man, Frank Lampard's son, Mason Mount. At number 5, in my opinion, Liverpool's greatest captain of all time, Jordan Henderson. Go look at his accolades. At number 4, I can't even say this, and I'm an Arsenal fan, Harry Kane. At number 3, British record fee, Jack Grealish. At number 2, Mr. Harry Maguire, the fridge himself. And at number 1, the most overrated player currently in the EPL, it's your boy, Trent Alexander-Arnold. You guys need to get at these boys in the comments. At them. And better yet, I need you guys to make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm your boy, Deny. This is Let 'Em Shoot TV. Culture meets football. I'm out.
Hey guys, welcome to the end of the video.
If you've made it this far, thank
Please.
you. Like, subscribe,
And comment. Also, we want this to be our job soon, so let's get a hashtag going. Let them shoot to the world. Get that trending, baby.
Yeah, like that Michael Jackson song.
And if you want to watch some good content,
You talk over, I'll sing.
and if you want to,
Keep going.
if you want to watch some good content, Max Gabana's brother has a podcast that airs at 8 p.m. after this. Go check it out. I think it's Coda's podcast. That's the one. And Project. Yeah. Go check that out.
Start giving.
And dig him up, lock him up, and bury him.